This is a very glossy, sweet, savory, umami dish that you can have it with some steamed rice, which is called Rou Fan. Hey guys, welcome to Flavor Fridays. The first thing you want to do is cut the veg. So we got some shiitake mushrooms and some spring onions. I'm gonna cut the shiitake mushrooms into cubes. Doesn't have to be finely chopped. You want it like roughly chopped so that you can get some beautiful texture to your dish. All right, now we're gonna cut the spring onions. So the greens, we're gonna cut it into beautiful rings. And then the whites, we wanna dice it up nice and fine. Now we're gonna cut our pork belly. It has to be nice and fatty, at the same time has a little bit of skin to give it that nice chew on it. So what you wanna do is skin side down, and first you wanna cut it into nice little slices. And then once we cut it into slices, we're gonna dice it up. So it needs some thickness. If it doesn't have some thickness, it won't have to chew. And you need to make sure they are small, but not so small that you can have the texture as well. All right, now you got all your stuff cut, your pork, your mushroom, your spring onion. Now it's time to cook. So basically, we're gonna add a little bit of oil just for it not to stick. Just a little bit, because the pork belly has a lot of fat already. That's why just a little bit for it to coat it at the bottom. You wanna turn the heat to a good 7 to 8 on the induction. That's around medium high. And once it's nice and hot, you can start to cook. You should be hearing all the sizzling sound. If you don't hear this, then your pork will not be as tender or as colored. So this part is very important. You want to spread it out so that the pork cooks on one end. So you want to cook this for 7 to 10 minutes or until it's golden. All right, now it's been around 7 minutes. Of course, some of them is not getting that color, but don't worry. Here comes the beautiful magic of rock sugar. And what you want to do is put around 50 grams of rock sugar. I think I have a little bit more, so I'm gonna put half of it. And then put it in, and it will start to caramelize to get that nice golden color. If you don't have this, you can use normal sugar. And if you want it a darker color, you can use demerara sugar. Once it's caramelized, it's dark, it's rich, you want to add your shiitake mushrooms. Oh my god. And then you want to add your the whites of the spring onion. You want to mix it through for a good 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure the aromatics soak in, and then the mushroom combine with the sugar. Once that's done, we're gonna add our liquids. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna deglaze with some rice wine. So I have a bottle here. In Mandarin, it's called mi jiu. Mi is rice, jiu is alcohol, so rice wine. And this is made in Taiwan. So we're gonna use a Taiwanese rice wine because this is a Taiwanese dish. Watch out, we're gonna add plenty full of this, but if you don't want that much alcohol, you can always add around 200 mils. I'm adding around 500 in my dish, and then afterwards, it will simmer down, and then we'll add some water to cover up, and then we'll add the other sauces to make sure they have the nice vibrant color. So once you added your rice wine, now is a good time to scrape the bottom for any fond at the bottom to give it some flavor to your dish. Of course, we're gonna make it boil and let that reduce a little bit so that all the alcohol evaporates, and then we're gonna add the remaining of the parts. And if we need to add water, we will add some water to top it up. So once it boils, you wanna let it boil for a good 2 to 3 minutes, or when all the alcohol is evaporated. So once it starts bubbling away and it's gone for a good 2 to 3 minutes, now you can add your soy sauce. This is around a good tablespoon and a half. And to give it that color, we're gonna add a little bit of dark soy. So just a little bit. And that's around 1 to 2 teaspoons. And then we're gonna add our aromatic spices. So this is 5 spice. That's gonna have the nice sweetness, the tartness from the star anise and the cinnamon, kind of earthy. So that's gonna give it the quintessential flavor to our dish. And then this is optional. I love white pepper. That gives it that nice floral notes to it. but you don't have to add too much. But if you love pepper, you can add a good heavy pinch on it, and that's around 2 teaspoons. And then we're gonna mix it through. So you can see the color is getting pretty dark already, and that is what we want. And now what we want to do is to top it up with some water. Once it starts boiling, now we're gonna let it simmer for a good 3 hours, slow braise. But if you're in a rush, you can do it in a little bit higher temperature, around a medium high, and let that simmer for a good, I would say about 20 minutes. And then let's see how it goes. And then if it needs more time, we will see what happens next. All right, once we reach to our preferred mark, so right now it's around 20 minutes, we're gonna add some fried shallots. So this is around 50 to 70 grams. And for extra flavor, I also add fried garlic. So again, roughly the same amount as the fried shallot. And what you wanna do is stir that in until they're softened and the flavor comes out. That's when we'll be done, and we'll be plating it with some steamed rice. Let's just get a good amount of pork and the mushroom. You can see it's very glossy. Just slap a good ladle on it. Once you've done a good ladle, you want to add the spring onions to top it up to give it that nice green color. And that's it. This is my dish, Rou Fan. And now it's time to taste. The best part of today. Oh, it's hot. It is sweet. It is creamy from the pork belly. It's so succulent. It's so delicious. Oh wow, it's like really match made in heaven. I'm gonna get another bite because you know, this is too good to be true, and I miss my Taiwanese food. Alright guys, let us know in the comment what food makes you miss home. And of course, thank you for watching Flavour Fridays. I hope you enjoyed this lovely recipe and hope to see you guys next week.